in the back seat, and the girl, he got out of it. Was so cold-blooded and low down. But, see, they have no value for women, even their own women. If you get out of line, they're going to kill your ass and think nothing about it because this is legal and this is a part of the culture. This man, they had on America's Most Wanted a couple of weeks ago because they're still looking for him. So y'all can check the America's Most Wanted site. You don't believe me. He walked off, left them there dying in the damn back seat of the cab and never looked back. And the girl had breath for enough minutes to dial 911, but the way she said it, they thought it was a joke because she really couldn't talk that loud. And she was like, my dad just shot me. That's what's up. I'm dying. And that was it. And they had to track them by the cell phone towers, and her sister were laying there and had bled to death. So I'm seeing that this is a big problem, not just with the violence, with the mothers attacking and beating the daughters, but the mothers allowing their boyfriends or fathers to beat and sexually degrade the daughters. But the difference, like I said, with us and women of color, a lot of us will never tell it. We're too embarrassed. We blame ourselves. We still love our mothers. We don't want to hurt them. We don't want to tell nobody because we think it's going to hurt and mess up their reputation because we're still hoping. A lot of women are not consciously aware of the fact they're still hoping that there's some type of reconciliation with the mother, that the mother will wake up and see how good they are. And like you said, with her giving her mother money, a part of us know that shit is foul. She knows she really don't want to give her mama no money. But another part of her is trying to get approval and thinking that'll win the mother's love, and that'll hopefully create a bridge so that one day when the mama wake up and see how great she is, everything will be all right with them. So she's not going to completely cut that money off until she eventually just say, you know what, fuck this shit. This bitch didn't care about me then. The bitch don't care about me now. If she really loved me, it wouldn't matter if I was broke and hungry. Because I breathed and because I came out of her. That's enough reason to love what you had. Not because of what she got now, where she lives. Then that means she don't really give a fuck about her. She feel like, bitch, you owe me. Since I couldn't break you down any other way, and you still accomplished stuff and got money anyway, since I see you still, in my mind, you still ain't shit to me, because she's probably jealous of her damn daughter, and she didn't want her daughter to accomplish more than her. The daughter accomplished it anyway, so it's like, okay, well, since I still really don't like her, and I'm still going to abuse her, I'm going to get what I can get, and because I know my daughter better than she know me, and I know what time it is my daughter don't know, I'm going to drain this bitch, and I'm going to get what I can get, and I'm going to make her feel like she owe it to me. That's a lot of the shit, too, that mothers will do to their daughters.
Yep. And, so, yeah, I mean, again, I just applaud you for enlightening some women, and I'm sure, as you said, some of your female listeners, they ain't listening just because, you being entertaining, because you coming from a powerful place, man, and it evidently is resonating with a lot of your listeners. They can relate to it, and so, yeah, just, and that's what something like these new technology allows someone like you to do. You ain't got to go through the gatekeepers to get on a NBC or CBS or whatever. You can just log in on here, speak your piece, and let people listen to your life lessons. And like you said, and an important point you made that I really agree with is that, I'm not against education because, I consider myself a fairly educated man myself. But at the same time, you don't need credentials behind your name or parchment paper to validate, your experiences in life.
But I'm going to tell you, Eleanor, that's how they do me, though. That's how they talk to me. And those are the kind of things that, people in positions to green light shows, those are some of the things they say. Well, we can't put you up on the show getting advice like you do because you don't have no education and because you black. That's what somebody told me a couple of days ago. So, you can't be saying the stuff you say. You would have to have somebody with credentials or a doctor or somebody to come on your show and speak for you. I said, well, it's fine, I'll do that. Because I'm realizing they want, but I told them, I said, to me, y'all really don't know what you're talking about because the people have made me popular. I did not do this myself. And the people knew from day one, I ain't tried to front. I came out and said I didn't even graduate from high school, and I'm really not ashamed of that. Because at this point, I'm going to college, I'm enrolled in college, I can still go. With GED, you can go anywhere you want to go. So I don't really care about telling that. It don't really matter to me how nobody take that or how they feel about that shit. But what I told them is that people are responding to me and they still ask me questions. They want to know my opinion on particular topics, and they listen to it. So y'all don't want to recognize, and you're trying to diminish me and say, well, because I'm black and because I don't have a degree, in my mind, that means absolutely nothing to me. I don't even feel no kind of way. I don't feel inferior because you said that, because what I know what matters, Alan, what matters is not always what executive thinks. What matters is what the streets think, because the streets make and break people every day. And executives, whether they say they're not going to listen, one day they're going to listen because they listen to the streets and the cha-ching. When the streets start to say, I want Alexyss K. Tylor, and when Alexyss K. Tylor has an event and the streets show up and they pay me, or the streets buy my book and my DVDs and my CDs, they're going to have to put me on. They're going to have to.
But shit, then it's going to be a point where you probably don't want to deal with them, even though some probably you probably going to maybe have to. But, oh, yeah, that happens. We talked about that before. That happens, especially in the 21st century. That scenario happens big time with a lot of artists, is that, you know, there was a Time magazine article that I actually wrote a letter to the editor in, and they published it. That was my first time seeing my name in a national magazine. But Time magazine had an article called DoItYourself.com. I think it was in 2000. And essentially what the article said is what, again, what you and I have talked about, is that, and this was, I think, before YouTube. YouTube haven't even broke on the scene, and some of the other technological blog talk radio. But it was said that we're moving into an age where people are going to be able to do a lot of stuff on their own, whether, you know, write books. Now there's self-publishing, all kinds of opportunities for self-publishing, do your own films, etc. And it's said that the audience is going to determine who's relevant and who's not. It ain't going to be a team of marketing executives basically saying, like I always use the example of Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac, that's what he always used to tell people, is that he would tell his audience that you guys made me. I wasn't made because of some, you know, nerdy studio executive somewhere. You know, I built my fan base through the streets. And then that's when Hollywood took notice and started coming after me. And, but yeah, I've run into the same thing with the whole credential thing. Like, some people, you know, was telling me early on, and it did, I'll be honest, for a while it made me hesitant to publish more one as a book. So people were like, Alan, you don't have a PhD in relationship psychology or, you know, couples therapy, you know, so I don't know, in order to be truly considered a dating and relationships expert, you really need to, you know, have that PhD, you know, Dr. Alan Roger Curry. And I was like, well, I'm just going to be real. A lot of this shit I read that from the people at doctors is bullshit.
Okay.
It's bullshit. I mean,
and remember what you told me when you were on that show. I ain't going to get into it. But
yeah, well, I don't want to call that person out my name.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, like, some doctors get up there and project some shit to the audience, and they tell you this is what you need to do, and they don't even live that way.
There you go, exactly. And it just it kills me that, you know, that's matter of fact, there was a movie. I can't think of the title. I want to say Dolly Parton was in this movie where there was this radio psychotherapist that was, I think, saying a bunch of bullshit. And then Dolly Parton took over because she got sick or something. And Dolly Parton acted like she had a doctor degree or whatever. And she was just giving good advice, and the people was, you know, the women were taking to it. And then I think towards the end of the movie she has to admit that she didn't really have a. But bottom line is, people listening to you, particularly the people who are mature and intelligent, they know when they're hearing bullshit or not.